haven't spoken to her in years.
How many years?
I mean, at least 5, 6. Help is needed now because time is running out. I don't want my kids waking up having to deal with the unimaginable. Either you get help or you don't.
I think Kevin Federline needs a conservatorship. So I go to click on YouTube today, and what is in my algorithm but Kevin Federline on Piers Morgan Uncensored. The way he appeared on the show, he looks very unkempt, very crazy. The things that he's talking about and the way he's like kind of obsessing over Britney Spears, it's really giving mental instability. Let's take a look at this video. I want to react to it because I'm really just worried for Kevin. It seems like, something's not right upstairs. I think maybe it's his turn to get into some type of guardianship. Let's have a look.
Trying to show people that help is needed now because time is running out. I don't want my kids waking up having to deal with the unimaginable.
So let me get this straight, because Britney's dancing in videos on Instagram. That's one minuscule teeny tiny piece of her life that he sees, right? Because as far as we know, the kids don't see Britney. He doesn't see Britney. So the only thing they're seeing of Britney would be just what the rest of us are seeing, right? On Instagram and just her social media. I mean, she was in a conservatorship for years. And before that, she was a child star run by her parents. The woman never had any freedom in her life. So she's finally free. And if she wants to dance and make a couple dancing videos on Instagram, even if she looks like a nut, who cares? Who really cares? Have you seen any other social media posts, Kevin? What Britney's doing on social media is pretty much normal compared to some other shit I've seen out there. And the fact that he's sitting there trying to gaslight us like, oh, I don't want my kids to wake up to the unimaginable. Oh. If you take the gaslighting out of it, isn't that the way the world works? I mean, grown children wake up to find that their parents have passed away. That's just how life works. So why are you trying to put this crazy music behind him saying, oh, they're, it's just, this is literally gaslighting at its best. She's a grown woman. What business is it of any of ours? And especially what business is it of yours, you freak? Let's continue on.
He went to the courts and he got exactly what he deserved. The proof speaks for itself with the kids actually wanting to be with him and are actually troubled when they're around their mom.
If there's one thing that you can unite every nation, it is the fact that Kevin Federline has always been a greedy bastard. If this were actually about him caring about Britney Spears, then why is he writing in his book about her alleged lesbian hookup? If Britney wanted to get some nookie, Britney deserved to get some nookie.
Thank you. Like, what's the problem? What is the issue?
I think he is basically one of the leeches that he's accusing have taken advantage of her in her life. Well, you're writing a book about her. You're revealing the fact that she apparently had a lesbian affair. You are one of those people that are exploiting her. He's going to gain nothing from this book.
I really hope he does gain nothing from this book. He's a hot mess. Like, ew. And who cares about Britney hooking up with a girl? Who gives a shit? Why is it my business what Britney does with her vagina? What do I care? Why would I want to hear about that in your book?
A quarter of a century on from her first global hit, Britney Spears remains one of the most talked about celebrities in the world and one of the biggest stars of her generation. It's into that maelstrom that her ex-husband Kevin Federline steps with his controversial new memoir, You Thought You Knew. K-Fed, as he was known, says he's releasing the book because it's time to set the record straight after years of the media, blogs, strangers, and exes telling his story for him, as he puts it. Some critics have a different take. One reviewer called it a vapid memoir, which is just another means to kick Britney while she's down. But we'll debate that in true uncensored style shortly. We'll begin by hearing from the man himself. Kevin Federline joins me now. Kevin, welcome to
He actually hopped on TV like this? Looks to me like this dude needs a conservatorship. Stat.
Uncensored.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, let's try and cut through all the crap around the release of the book and all the stuff, good, bad, nothing's been said about it. Tell me in your own words why you wrote the book.
Well, I feel like, I've stayed silent for 20 years trying to do right as a father and raise my children outside of the spotlight or Hollywood, whatever you want to call it, while so many others have told my story. I feel like my story has been told through a different lens, and now finally I'm ready to tell my truth.
For those who don't know the background to this, you dated Britney for 3 months. You then got married in July 2004. We had 2 sons between September 2005 and then September the following year. And you had pretty much full custody of those boys going forward when the troubles set in. They're now at adult age. Was that part of your calculation too, to wait until they were adults themselves?
Absolutely. I wanted to make sure that my kids had a chance to grow and really, give them a chance at a normal life, right?
If you really wanted your kids to have a normal life, you would shut your mouth and just continue on. But what you're doing is bringing attention to them once again. So that's just a blatant lie. obviously you seem a bit confused about how things work. You might need to go see a doctor and maybe get into some type of guardianship or conservatorship. Obviously, you really shouldn't be running your whole life by yourself. There's something really going on with you. I feel really strongly about this.
As much as I possibly could, which obviously it was very difficult. And through the book, you'll find, all of the stories that led us up to this point.
Actually, we won't, because none of us are going to read your book of crazy. Okay. We really aren't.
Yeah, I mean, I was just a struggling father trying to give my kids a normal life.
It's been, I think, fair to say that you've been viewed as the bad guy in this for a long time in terms of relationship with Britney. I want to play a clip. This is from The View, the day after your divorce was announced.
Britney Spears is leaving K-Fed!
That's because we really all hated you. We really still all hate you. And the fact that you're super obsessed with Britney Spears is really getting you not very far in terms of likability.
No, I don't know you. I've never met Britney, but I've got to say, I found that a pretty ugly spectacle. I don't think you'd see anything like that airing on American television now without them all getting fired.
You know, it's funny because them celebrating a divorce on TV, they're talking like that's the worst thing ever, right? But you can bring Kevin Federline on TV and he can say how he's afraid of Britney dying and things like that. It's very, very strange. Why are you thinking of Britney dying? That's so obsessive and weird. Like, nobody thinks of that kind of stuff. And like the fact that you're obviously out here thinking it enough to write a book about it, enough to go on TV interviews and talk about it's weird. You're giving mentally unstable right now. Big time.
The kind of gleeful response to the breakdown of a relationship and a divorce, whatever the background, whatever was circulating in the media, that seemed to me actually pretty cruel. If you're you,
Did Pierce Morgan just say that seems pretty cruel? And he's got Kevin Federline sitting here. I think maybe Pierce might be next in line for a guardianship. If that's how they see the world. They see that, women celebrating the end of an abusive relationship and Britney getting rid of this loser was cruel. But having this loser then come on TV and, oh my God, but this isn't cruel. What you're doing right now to Britney isn't cruel. Okay, gotcha. See, this is where you establish your baseline of where their morals lie. And it's very, very low and it's very, very skewed.
watching that's a pretty cruel thing to watch. What do you feel watching it back just now?
It hurts. I'm not going to lie to you. It hurts. And, I honestly think that even had to have hurt her, right? Because you're talking about a family being split, and that's not easy in itself. And to have that celebrated at a time where clearly she's spiraling, I fell into depression, and people were celebrating that. I mean, it's disgusting.
If you want the fame, you have to take all the stuff that comes with it. And unfortunately, this is some of the things that come with it. And for him to sit there and complain about it, and once again, have to say she was clearly she was spiraling. Really? Like, oh my gosh. He has to bring Britney back into it. Do you notice that? He said, "How did you feel watching this?" And he's like, "I'm hurt. It hurt me and it hurt her." And he right back to bring a Britney into it. It's like, he didn't ask about Britney. He asked about you. Your secondhand knowledge of how Britney felt you don't even know. So why are you speaking on it?
What is your view of the host of the View for what they did that day?
Well, I don't watch them, I'll tell you that.
I mean, the cast has changed significantly since then, but it's pretty shocking watching it. I have to say, I've done The View a few times, but it's pretty shocking to watch that actually go out. This was 20 years ago.
Right. I mean, and that's it. It's like my life being told through a different lens has led to that, to all of that. And people feel like, and I think that by me staying silent, it also did the same thing, right? I think that people felt, they had the right to go and say whatever they want because they knew that I wasn't going to come out and speak up for myself.
I mean, it's interesting to see the ringleader there was Rosie O'Donnell, who's now the lead attack dog against Donald Trump, has even left the country. So she can attack him, I think, from Ireland, where she now lives. But, this is somebody who purports herself to be the kind, empathetic one, and Trump's the monster that has to be trashed all the time. When I watch her behavior that day towards you, again, I don't know you, but whatever had led up to that, the way she did that was like a circus ringleader, circus master, basically unleashing the dogs on you.
Wait a minute. So what are we doing here? What's happening right here? Are you not the circus ringleader, Pierce, unleashing the dogs, Kevin, onto Britney Spears right now? Am I seeing this the wrong thing? Or what are you talking about? You're sitting here doing the exact same thing, only to a woman who's been held captive for her entire life and is finally just tasting a little bit of freedom, enjoying a greenhouse and just being free. And here you are, dogpiling on her, giving this idiot a spotlight.
Through a television.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's horrible, right? It feels horrible being judged by somebody that doesn't even know me.
What? So, how much time have you spent with Britney in the last few years?
I haven't spoken to her in years.
How many years?
I mean, at least 5, 6.
And you wrote an entire book judging her. Like, this is crazy, guys. This is what I mean. This dude really is absolutely like, ooh, you know what I mean? It sounds like he really does need a conservatorship. Look at how nuts he is. He just wrote an entire book doing that same thing to Britney. What is he saying?
But I mean, really, if you want to judge me, look at what I've done as a father. Judge me off of my children. None of my children have been in trouble with the law. None of my children have been addicted to drugs. All of my children, every single one of them, and I have 6.
Guess what? Most people can say the same thing. That's not an accomplishment to make sure your children are not drug addicts. Okay. That's just being a normal parent. You're nothing special because your kids aren't addicted to drugs. You freak. Doesn't make me spectacular because I raised my kids not to be assholes. Okay.
Are really good human beings with a good head on their shoulders, and they're all falling into their own. They know who they are. They know their identity. And that, if you want to judge me on that.
I could say a lot of things about you as a person and how you raised your children to completely and totally disregard their own mother. Your kids have no empathy for what she went through. Your kids don't care to even be bothered with their mother. That's no accomplishment. Not at all.
I've seen the reaction about you as a father, and it's generally positive. People, whether they love you or hate you, they all concede you've been a good father. And certainly taking custody of your 2 boys when Britney was clearly unable to be a proper parent, that's very laudable, right? I give you credit for that. I guess the flip side of all this is that you know that from 2008 to 2021, Britney was put under a conservatorship, a legal arrangement, allowed her father to manage her financial affairs. And the reason for that was that she was clearly, and we see this to this day, I don't know her, but I see the videos she puts out. I see some of the stuff that circulates around Britney. This is a mentally unstable woman. She was then, she was during, she is now. That is why she didn't have the custody of your kids. You know this better than anybody.
They're saying they've seen videos on social media, and that's how they've come to this conclusion. Neither one of these two are qualified to make that kind of diagnosis on a woman, especially not from just a snippet of, Instagram videos or whatever videos it is you're seeing. It's a snippet. It's a tiny little piece. And even if she is mentally unstable, it's none of your concern. There's plenty of mentally unstable people out there. I don't see you guys worrying about them. Why are you so focused on Britney? And there's nothing that she does that includes Kevin anymore. She doesn't see her children, she said. She doesn't talk to him, she said. I'm really confused as to why he's so focused and so obsessed with this woman. He's out here gaslighting everybody or trying to gaslight everybody. It's like, we're not stupid. We're not going to read your memoirs. And we certainly don't believe anything you're saying as you sit there obsessing. It's sickening. It's like a stalker, a cyber stalker, like a huge stalker. He's even written a book. It's very unhealthy. It's giving you need a guardianship. You need a conservatorship. You really do. I'm scared for Britney.
And, you've written a book, which is, you're entitled to write a book. Let me just say that. You're entitled to have your say. But knowing her mental state, knowing how fragile she clearly is, I see these videos she puts out of herself.
I just get a kick out. Like, you're saying she's clearly fragile and unstable. You've seen the videos. There's several people out here on social media that aren't anything like their videos. It's crazy to me that you guys are dogpiling on this woman over videos on Instagram. Who cares? It's like, what the they're so obsessed.
Dancing. And honestly, they're tragic. They're tragic things to watch. It is a woman who was the biggest pop star on the planet who is clearly continuing to battle a lot of mental health issues. And it's sad to watch. And we all feel that, I'm sure, when we see these videos. But you've written a book.
You know what I feel when I see her on video just dancing around and being silly? I think, good for you, Britney. Go wild. Go wild, girl. Because you know what? She deserves it. She's been through enough. And if there's any problems in her brain at this point in time, it is from them feeding her too much lithium. And she said it from Ever since she's gotten out of that conservatorship, she screamed that they fed her so much lithium that she couldn't even function properly. I don't know. I just think it's wild to me that they continue to call out her mental state when they're just seeing a couple of minutes of video.
But you've written a book, you blame her for being a narcissist for her own behavior. You say that she has nobody there that truly cares for. I'm sure that's right. You say that, you talk about her mental issues. You talk about her being taken to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in LA and placed under psychiatric hold, the toughest night of your life. You talk about the impact on your kids. You do all this stuff. And I'm just thinking, as I'm reading all this, because it's graphically told, how does this help Britney Spears? How does this not actually have an even more damaging effect on an already damaged woman?
I can't wait to hear the answer to this one.
Have the intimate details of the breakdown of your relationship, the breakdown of her mental health, laid bare now in a book, and you going on a big media tour talking about all this. Now, she has said she's had enough writing. She put a comment out on her Instagram. The constant gaslighting from my ex-husband is extremely hurtful and exhausting. She says she's felt demoralized about the fractured relationship with your boys. I've always pleaded and screamed to have a life with my boys. She says she's only seen one of her sons for 45 minutes in the past 5 years. We've got a cry from the heart there. And I guess my question for you, Kevin, is, you've been a good father. You've brought these kids up well. They've obviously relied on that. They couldn't rely on their mother. But you know how damaged Britney is. Why would you deliberately seek to pour fuel on the flames of her mental illness in the way that you have with this book?
So there's quite a few reasons, right?
Really?
For one, my family and I are tired of living the lie.
What are you talking about? We have all forgotten about you. We do not even think of you. So what are you talking about living a lie? Who is approaching you and accusing you of things and bringing this up to you?
For two, I want my sons and my family to be able to go out and live their lives out from under all of this,
No, we don't know. We have no idea what we're talking about. You said you've kept your kids out of the spotlight and they've had a normal upbringing. So what are you talking about? We don't even know who your kids are. And we completely forgot you were even alive until you decided to write these memoirs and go on a press tour and bring a huge spotlight on you and your children.
And get out of the shadow of this. And a major part of why I'm doing this is because we have tried everything else, and I see no other way to try and get her help. I mean,
are you serious? It's not your job to get her help. You don't talk to her. Your children don't talk to her. What is it? Why is it your job to get her help? Why is it up to you to do anything for that woman? She doesn't need you, want you, or care about you in her life. She doesn't want anything to do with you. You are obsessed with her. You need to find a life. And somebody needs to get you evaluated for a conservatorship right away, because this is very extremely disturbing behavior.
Everybody's been alienated from the situation. So once we've done everything, this is like my last final straw of trying to plead for help and support.
If you really felt that way, your memoirs would be free.
Support for my sons to, get her to a place where it's better. And I understand that this hurts and the truth hurts and all of that. And that is not what I want. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm trying to put a perspective on it and show people that help is needed now because time is running out.
And when you say time is running out,
what's he talking about?
It's exactly what it sounds like. I don't want my kids waking up having to deal with the unimaginable.
Their mother might die.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. Adult children lose their parents all the time. That's just nature. We all grow old. We all die in some way. So what are you making this into something for? Those kids have nothing to do with their mother. Come on, Kevin. You're just trying to make a couple dollars. Fuck you on here. Now comes the fake tears. Ready, guys? This is going to be so funny.
There's only two ways that this ends. Two ways that this ends right now. We've seen it a million times with so many different people.
With who? What are you talking about?
And so
what are the two ways? Kevin, just to be clear, what are the two ways?
What are the two ways?
Either you get help or you don't.
Okay.
Do you talk to Britney at all?
I haven't spoken to her in years.
So what the fuck are you talking about? So you're telling me you haven't spoken to her in years and you're out here making all this fucking fuss. Your kids haven't spoken to her in years. You haven't spoken to her in years. How are you crying about anything? You don't know her. What are you talking about? You're so obsessed. You're like an obsessed fan that won't go away. Like, you really got to be evaluated. You really need some type of evaluation. You truly do. I'm sorry. This is bad.
How many years?
I mean, at least 5, 6.
Since she's been out of her conservatorship, she hasn't spoken a word to you. That really does tell us a whole lot, doesn't it? You know what? We're going to stop it here. We will react to the rest, but not today. But we'll pick this up in part 2. And yeah, let me know what you think about all this down in the comment section, and I will see you on the next one.